Hey YouTubers, Linda here. Wanted to make a quick video to share with y'all who are still single and in the dating world, or just still single. Especially those who are believing for a mate, because the Lord has given me some revelations about this, and I wanted to pass them on. These are for men and women both, but of course, I kind of direct my conversation toward my sisters in Christ because we've had many conversations, some of y'all and me, about this kind of thing. So, I think I covered in an earlier video that just because you meet somebody and you're attracted to them does not mean that God sent them into your life. Satan could just as easily have sent them. So, it's up to us to discern who belongs in our life, and it's up to us to discern if that person is like the mate that God has told you He has for you, or the person He's sending, or whatever. And here are some of the ways that the Lord has given me or shown me that will kind of help you, use the process of elimination in that as you're going through this. Number one, someone that is sent by the Lord, who's a godly person, he's in the walk and everything, will never ever try to persuade you to go against anything that you believe you have heard from the Lord. What a godly person will do is they will be silent and they will pray about that. They will pray for you, Lord, if that's not you, please, get them where they need to be. But they won't try to persuade you themselves to go against God. That would be a bad idea, I think. A person who is sent by God, who's truly, in a close relationship with the Lord, should never, ever violate your purity. They should always be protecting your purity as much as their own. They should never try to seduce you. They should never try to get your clothes off. They should never try to get you to do anything that is carnal in that way. Let me just put it that way. Someone who is sent by the Lord will not knowingly interfere with your God time. We all need to spend time with the Lord every day. We need to spend time studying the Word. We need to spend time in prayer. If you're going to stay in relationship with God and walk close to Him, you need to do all these things every day. Someone who is sent by the Lord will not just take over all your time and, pull you away from God. They will want to be, they have their own time with God too. So they should always be aware of that and respectful of that. So that's something to watch for. And they should enhance and encourage your walk with God. They should not encourage you to do anything that would pull you away from or out of the walk with the Lord and more towards the world or the flesh. Passion is the devil's playground. You got to watch out for that one. I personally believe that anyone the Lord sends, and you ladies who are prophetesses that I've talked to about this personally, you know what I'm talking about when I say this. If the Lord sends somebody to you, if He sends that man that, let's say that He promised you years ago He has a husband for you, which the Lord spoke that to me, that man is going to know who you are in the Spirit. And you know what I'm talking about when I say know who you are in the Spirit. Because there are many of you out there who are prophetesses or who have mighty giftings that the Lord has just not uncloaked you from the world to where the world can see who you are yet, but you know who you are because the Lord has shown you who you are. Well, if He sends a man to partner with you, to be your husband, to be your high priest, He's going to show that man who you are. If He doesn't show that man who you are, that's not Him. That is not Him. And I believe the same thing for men. Men, you know who you are in the Spirit. You know who God has shown you that you are to be. If that woman doesn't see that, that's not who God has for you. He has someone that's going to match and complement you, but someone who will see you, because only God can show someone who you are in the Spirit. No one else can see it. Only the people He chooses to be in your life will know who you really are in the Spirit. So watch for that, because that's a real big sign right there. A carnal man can never lead a godly woman. Ladies, if he's trying to lead you into carnality, if he's trying to get you to do sexual things, that is not him. He cannot lead you if he's trying to drag you into the flesh, and he is not going to change after you marry him. He's not going to magically get saved. I know the devil tried to sell you that lie. Well, he's got everything else going for him, but he just needs to know the Lord a little better. He says he believes in God. Don't buy that. The devil gets a lot of people into wrong marriages by telling them that lie and selling it to them. You are not that desperate. You are not that desperate. Do you hear me? I am talking to somebody. I just want to put that out there. Leviticus, at 27 says, "Sanctify yourselves therefore, and be ye holy, for I am the Lord your God." We are supposed to be holy like he is holy. We should be in a holiness walk, and we need to be with someone else who's also in a holiness walk. And if they're not in a holiness walk, they're going to do two things. They're going to try to drag you into carnality. They're going to try to get you to do sexual things, and they're not going to feel guilty about it. They're not going to feel any conviction whatsoever if you do any of those things. You will if you're in the walk, but they won't. And that's a very big sign too. But the whole thing is, if he's a godly man in a holy walk, he's not going to try to seduce you. A godly woman in a holy walk is not going to try to seduce you. If they do, you need to pray for them, because they're not all the way where they need to be yet. And everybody has their struggles, and we all need to pray one for another. But that's something to watch for. If somebody's truly sent to you by God, they're not going to be trying to mess up your time with God, trying to take you away from what God has told you to do, or what you believe you've been told by God. They're not going to try to persuade you against that. They're not going to try to drag you off into carnal things. They're not going to violate you or themselves. So, I just want to put this out there for other Christians who date. Because it's important that we know what to watch for and what to be aware of. Because there are all these online dating sites now and Christian dating sites, and the majority of people that are out there are just Christians in name only. Don't be fooled by that. Don't be fooled by words. Don't be fooled by what they say. Look at what they do. The best way to gauge a person's true intent is turn off their words and look only at their actions. Their actions will tell you the truth. Their words will tell you what you want to hear, what they think you want to hear, but their actions will tell you who they really are. So, good luck out there.